second Wednesday of the month at Stardust. And so I've kind of been heavily involved in this kind of stuff, but it's my first time here. It's very cool. Very cool. I like it. So I'm going to try to sort of just, we have a bunch of people signed up. I'm going to try to keep things moving along. If you have signed up online but have not checked in, be sure to do so that we know you're actually here and we can call you up when the time comes. And in the meantime, I would just ask you to sort of pardon my, I don't know if it's the cold weather or I'm having a terrible knee problem. So if I fall down or something, it's not because of the pint of rum that I had on the way here. It's just because I've reached that age where I'm not quite sure if I have an injury or if that's just the way things are going to be now. My next door neighbors in my condo thought I had a wild morning sex life until I told them those are just the noises that I make trying to get out of bed. So, it's just the way it is. We're going to have to live with it. So my understanding is that we kind of have three people on deck. For those of you who have been here, I guess that's the way it works. So I'm going to give that a try, all right? You ready? You with me? All right. So we have Julian, Peter, and Kay. If you will come to the front of the room, we have a bunch of people signed up, so my job is kind of just to keep us rolling and possibly offend people in between if I have the opportunity. If not, so, all right. What's up? Julian.
How you guys doing? All right. First time, so I'm gonna try to let my nerves not get the best of me. So I'm gonna do two poems. They're pretty short poems, so I won't be up here for too long. But the first one is called "No Good Together." So, in what manner were you confused when you said, "I'm done"? The clouds have stopped crying, so now you want my love? It wouldn't be wise if I dismissed all your crimes and set aside dinner plates in a room that was filled with their lies. Now, who would that be fair to? Could I have done something wrong? Confused it was me, but you made the first move. Your character continued to reveal the layers of who you really are. I called you a bandit, and you stole more than my heart. And now when I think of forever, I sit alone because you decided to play both parts. And that's the first one. And my second one is More Than Forgiveness. This one is, so, what are chains? Could they be our fears, jealousy, or even anger? Why do we take them to some of the most sacred places of our lives? Yes, to the ones we claim we love and even God. I was once bounded by these chains. They had rampaged throughout my life, constantly destroying everything I desired. So this is why the drinkless waterfall flowed from my face. I have destroyed more than a few lives with my chains. So when these roads are walked, I choose to travel them alone. They say to me, who are you to ask for forgiveness when the chains that you welded have been mended by your own hands? Could you forgive me even though I am the cause of your grief? Will you stand beside me when I fail to meet your needs?
So much for coming out on this unseasonably cold Orlando night to be warmed by our poetry and reading or whatever else we're going to do. I have two poems here. They're fairly new, so I'm very glad to share them with you. And for this first one, well, when I tell you, oh, I got more of a spotlight. For this first one, well, you'll see what the inspiration is when I tell you the title. This is Visiting Dead Friends' Facebook Pages. You've done that, right? Facebook reminds me today is Oral's birthday. That will always be true, even though he's no longer on earth to celebrate with us. His smiling face shines from this page he created, preserved like parents do children's bedrooms, full of dusty trophies, toys, and old posters stuck on walls. Happy birthday, Oral's brother, right? Perhaps cloud servers are the best places to leave messages for our departed. Weather wears away the hardest stone. Wind and rain swirl cards and flowers from grave to grave. Comments placed in clouds live closer to heaven than rocks piled on earthly gravestones. Do those Facebook comments comfort our beloved dead souls? I know I'd rather remember them young, vital, their presence only a text or phone call away. That actually came because I had a departed friend, a poet in Orlando, Oral Nussbaum, and I got a notice the other day that it was his birthday. So, many of you are probably writers, and you remember when you had that flash of inspiration, something just hit you, and maybe you even ripped through the page or pages, and at the end you felt like you'd really summed up something about yourself? Well, this happened to me just a couple of weeks ago. And that's why I titled this, My Calling. There's no thrill like feeling her vibrate from brushes and rollers built to shake dirt free from trodden carpets through filter and dirt receptacle to my fingers, holding the handle, godlike power to restore cleanliness and order to filthy floors. I kick the release, pull handles back. We race forward, man and machine, as we clean carpet and floor, rising with wand to bless seat cushions, drapes, and ceiling. After we're done, peace descends for the rest of the day. Dirt's gone away, and we have reversed entropy. Then maintenance, like meditation. Unclog pet hair from rollers. Wash filters to preserve power for next time. I was 8 years old when first I dragged a wheeled steel tube across blue nap of our Brooklyn living room, twisting hose around sofas, Victrola, and easy chairs too heavy to move, marveling at how carpet threads stood at attention after I swept hose over them. Vacuuming became my job, my obsession, my form of worship in this chaos-filled world, restoring order. Engineers have made my instruments lighter, more powerful, and efficient, while I've gotten older, heavier, weaker. But it won't be my time at death's door until the day I can no longer push my vacuum across the floor. I just want to plug that I'm going to be the feature here in March. So I hope you come back, and if you don't want more of this, I won't be on very long. I'll be pretty okay. So please come back. See you later.
How y'all doing? Hello, my name's Kay. This is my 4th minute time performing here. So I'm going to do a couple pieces tonight. I usually only do one, but I'm going to do a couple pieces. Most of mine are central around dating and mental health and all that lovely adult stuff that we have to deal with every day. So here's my first piece. Why does it seem they only like me for my body and not my mind? This shit got me messed up. I'm not going to lie. They only want to date me. They only want to lay me, not date me. They only care to misplace me and say that they hate me. And people don't understand why I am the way that I am. None, not willing to let them discard me like yous come. For my mind is a matrix, and its complexity is rarely understood. I wish that someone would just understand me, just take a moment to see me beyond these curves, for what I could be. Not broken, not used, not fucking abused, but fully in my femininity, my sensuality, and not just a mark to move on to the next. That I am something to be seen, that someone needs me so bad that they need me to breathe. I just want to be seen for me, not only my body, but for me. This next piece has to do, if anybody in here weightlifts, they understand when they has to do with like weightlifting and so. Barbell, calloused hands, chalk. Just me and my thoughts, the place that I can keep my demons in check. The barbell is like the negative shit in the world that tries to bring me down, yet I pick it up and slam it down. It will not break me today or ever. Even when I lose my grip and shit falls or I fall, it has to be picked back up again. No one can do this but me. It's my constant reminder when I hit bottom that my mindset and grit strength keep me getting up. When the demons of doubt, fear, guilt, and my past failures try to grip me like a chokehold to my throat. I say, hell, no, you got to go. For I have things to do and say and show into the world. My story doesn't end because I fall. Even when I hit rock bottom and they try to grip my last breath, I remember the last thing my best friend said to me, may he rest in peace. You have the capacity to change the world with the kindness that you bring. Never stop being you. And when I'm in my darkest place, peace of mind on my face, I remember this. Barbell, calloused hands, chalk, ready to make my peace. You have to remember no one will ever be you and no one will ever be me. The message that I need to remember, for the light that guides me and allows me to remember, what I need to see is that I need to be me. Thank you.
So just to be clear, for those of you, if you have signed up but have not checked in, please check in with Lauren, right up here. I want to tell you the next three folks, so you can kind of get ready in case some of you have a little bit of ground to cover on the web here. It's going to be Cedric, Melissa, and Caitlin. So come on up. In the meantime, I would also, you can keep clapping for Julian. That was just I assume Kay will tell you it gets easier each time. That's your fourth or fifth, I think you said? Cool. And then Peter, what can I say? That first piece he did. So I worked a number of years in the treacherous line of work called rock music. And you do get to a certain point where about every 2 years you have to go through your phone and clean out the names of dead people. I wish I was making that up. But. So it looks like we're lined up. Please welcome Cedric, followed by Melissa and Caitlin.
Hey, how y'all doing? I decided to do this one because it was Martin Luther King's birthday the other day, and then Black History Month is coming up, so I decided to do this poem. It's called Black Man. Don't take this out of context or take it the wrong way. I'm so proud to be a black man. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not racist at all. Love for all, that's the case. My blackness is greatness. I wouldn't want to be of any other race.
Take your time.
Our story shows power. We were dropped here in chains. What became oppression, exploitation, dehumanization, long hard years filled with turmoil and pain. Superhumans with the audacity to be great. The will to fight and endure, knowing death almost certainly would be their fate. Reconstruction, sharecropping, civil rights era, a lot of progress, but we ain't there yet. Our history is miraculous. I'm glad I learned it, and I don't want to forget. The ultimate sacrifice is life. Talk about blood, sweat, and tears. Dream one day it'd be better for me. They gave it all, facing their deepest fears. What strength and determination they had through God's grace. They slept in barn shacks and outdoors. 1600 Pennsylvania. I imagine they couldn't fathom one day we actually live in that place. Barack Hussein Obama, that's my hero. Yes, we can. Not just a president, he's prestigious, representing the hopes and dreams of every black man. This man had the unmitigated, adulterated gall to speak and march for us, knowing he would fall. But he got back up every time, enduring extreme punishment for us all. Shoot, it sounds a lot like what the father's son had done. And then his son gave his life for us, refusing to run. He fought enamored, he got his own day. I don't feel like we're superior, but I feel we are royalty. I'm a great fraternity, I'm ecstatic. My membership is very important to me. But it hurts to know some misled in the mind. Feelings of despair and hopelessness lead to a life of devalue and crime. Hearing Neil Turner, Marcus Garvey, them are vested Malcolm X. Like them, we gotta seek knowledge and teach. Uplifting each other should be our mission, and the love of God we should preach. Being a black man, nothing is more perfect than a black woman around. Black man, we gotta cherish her, love and respect her like holy ground. Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Philip A. Randolph, Barack Obama. To them I have an obligation. I owe them a pursuit of greatness. I still be 3/5 of a person if they weren't so amazing. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all the beautiful black queens that grabbed our attention. Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Mary McLeod Bethune, Ought to Be Well. Pure love was their only intention. Barbara Jordan, Fannie Lou Hammond, Rosa Parks, B. Chambers, and Katie Brunson. That's my aunt and my mom that passed on. All great queens with beautiful hearts. Thanks to all the beautiful black queens and kings that fought for me without knowing me. You're the reason why I am. You fought and gave your life for me. Now I promise to continue your program of love. We always seem to be under a cloud. In the pad room, we stand out in the crowd. Like James Brown, I want my parents to scream. I am black and I'm proud. Because of my predecessors, I feel special. I'm going to do all I can to enhance my community, the world. What I'm trying to say is, I'm extremely, ecstatically proud to be a black man.
This is called busy. I lied and said I was busy. I was busy, but not in a way most people understand. I was busy being mad. I was busy being sad. I was busy hiding behind a mask. I was busy hiding me. Then my busy changed. I stayed busy. Again, not in a way society would understand. I was busy taking deep breaths and clearing my mind. I was busy silencing damaging thoughts. Busy trying to make myself okay. This is my busy. I will not change it for anything, for it brings me peace.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. It's my first time reading here. I have 3 short poems today. I had an ex-boyfriend call me up recently after a decade later and apologize for how he had treated me. So I played around with that and wrote some things. Just like to state, no men were harmed in the making of this movie. This one is called Throat. Hand at your throat, I lay down my curse. No longer your emotional support, a piece in some egotistical chessboard. Never loved my greatest features, a lanky-limbed, idealistic daydreamer, ferocious even at 18. Only now can I see what a precious thing you chose to leave hollowed and drained. You whittled away at the shape of me for 10 whole months, but I'll haunt you for a decade, until the day you call me up, dripping with tearful apology, remorseful heartache. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Only then will I loosen my grip and release your throat, except maybe, so sorry, but maybe I won't. This next one is called Salt. I wrote it after my first time reading like poetry and just the process of writing. Sunlight reflects off my rippled mind and skips down a twisted spine alive. The splitting of hairs and nerve endings into new beginnings, fried. The remains of a broken soul emerged, a winged thing, scorched. Our fire didn't end me, you left me reborn. A carnivorous adaptation in a state of raw desperation, starved. Drowned myself in the waters of vulnerability until I became its siren call. The heartbreak tore me to shreds, but now I see the beauty in opening, shucked. Humanity isn't a secret to keep, it's a spice to be shared, salt. I stood before strangers and showed off my seams bare, only to find that their hearts look just like mine, rare. This next one is about trying to find love and falling short. It's called Misfit Door. True vulnerability stands at the end of a hallway I walk down eagerly until I'm pulled into another side doorway. Tempted by words like beauty and baby and one of a kind that slip generously from the mouths of men whose hearts hold no intent on ever knowing mine. It always sounds so nice until I'm paying rent on a 10-story pedestal I can't afford. Standing precariously at the edge of a hill I promise not to die on, could have sworn I told him I was afraid of heights. Maybe I'll remind him a couple hundred more times. Gaze down at a view that reeks of deja vu and wrong, cave in on myself to hide out the storm, dull enough of my shine, and maybe he'll get bored. Realize in the end all I was just another girl. Nothing special or sacred or worthy of being adorned, just a girl and a misfit door, nothing more.
Cool, thank you. So that was Cedric, Melissa, and Caitlin. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the newbies getting up here. Like, if you didn't tell us, we wouldn't know at all. It's very cool. So it's a weird thing. I started off way back when as a sports writer, and so I'm just writing about, like, whatever, the football game, whatever. And I didn't really care if anybody liked it or not. I mean, I guess they did. But then, like, the first time I actually got up in front of people and read something personal, I was really not like nervous and terrified. It was just so interesting because I wanted people to like it, and it was just an interesting moment for me to sort of get past that. So anyway, congratulations for you folks for doing that. That's awesome. Before I go on, let's call up the next three folks. We have Emmett, Anthony, and Nelson. Where are we? Oh, look, everybody's right here. Cool. All right. Come on down, folks. Anthony and Nelson. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Come on up.
How you guys doing tonight? Buffalo.
So if you kind of bear with me, I felt a personal need to do something I've actually already performed before, but this one's for me. So this is a little bit of me. A little bit of me, mental instability and agony. There's things I shouldn't let get to me that seem to get to me, like how I can't have a conversation without constantly analyzing discrepancies. Comes from trust issues, undoubtedly. I have this constant conflict. It's like this push and pull mentality, an appalling condescending sense of vanity. You see, inside of me there's enemies, and I feel like I'm in between when peace coincides with violent tendencies. Tearing out my insides. I've always been self-destructive. I put myself through pain on purpose, should be enough said, but once I fell in love because I knew I'd end up lovesick. Now maybe if I kept my conservations and my judgments, I wouldn't have pushed the envelope as far as getting dope sick, or maybe if I just would have never ignored the notions. Late nights turn to early mornings, mixing potions that left me blindsided, eyes wide and losing focus. They say I have selective hearing. Maybe I heard wrong. Maybe I do that to protect my feelings, or maybe my nerves lost. I'm confused about my mental bearings, my soul's torn. Asking for help is not appealing, and so far, the clock face of the stopwatch won't stop watching. The tick-tock of the shot clock is heart-stopping. I used to say I was thankful for being alive. That was a lie. A Closer look, you see the pain in my eyes. I became everything I despised, consumed by guilt that overtook and left me empty inside. It caused me to overlook all of the anger that was fertilized, and further tries and failures only seemed to hurt my pride. Dual personality planted in a young, nervous mind. Reality facilitates an unrelenting service, God. See, one night, while it was quiet, I heard in the back of my mind the devil fighting angels for a place to reside until I realized it was me in a battle with God. Am I winning or am I losing? Or are these questions just a nuisance or distraction meant to keep me from my purpose? And what's my purpose? I'm sick of all these questions with answers I have yet to determine, like, why is it anxiety leaves me panicky and nervous, and why is it so hard to say I'm hurting? Am I pushing them away? Or are they trying to get rid of me? Why do I fear responsibilities I lurk in? Nightcaps and white pills, my lack of life skills and certain OCD tendencies seem to aggressively surface. Perhaps I'm spiritually malnourished due to my lack of contact with God's my person. Now, not as in God like a czar of the heavens, but more like entwined consciousness that's within us. I beg your forgiveness. See, I sometimes get sidetracked, caught up on specifics, explaining ideas probably shouldn't have mentioned. And it's not that I fear someone getting offended, it's just I can't seem to stay on one task for a minute. ADD keeps me from shaking the habit of turning down trails and chasing down rabbits. It's one of those things that I place in my baggage and carry around, hoping no one will catch it. Placed amongst fears and misled intentions, crocodile tears and cries for attention. The masks that I wear make it harder for breathing. I'll just put those back in my bag till I need them. I might need them to look brave while I'm battling demons, or to smile at girls that I'm trying to sleep with, quickly trying to cover insecurities looming like, God forbid someone might find out that I'm human. Maybe it sounds foolish, or maybe I sound stupid when you hear me saying the same old cliches like, I won't do it again, or I'm trying to change, and I say that I'm sick of playing these games, but maybe just losing the ones that I play. So when is enough enough? What about these changes that I speak of? I feel stuck between waiting for these things to come and going over what things I'm willing to be giving up. Like I get this idea like something brand new that I'm thinking up, like I can stay the same and change. Or go through life without the painful stuff, but I think like, what would life be if that's the way it was? The pain is gone and so is joy. Now what's the point of waking up? I woke up inside a dream and my life had lacked an angel's touch. But what if I never put my lips to hers and tasted love? What if I've never felt the love that's in my children's hugs, or saw the love in my mother's sacrifices for her son? What is love? Love is something that I probably received my whole life but never learned how to express it outwardly. I say that I love you and that's nice in its own right, but my actions reveal the self-doubt. Emotions are not something I deal well with, although I try to be a shoulder to cry for someone who might depend on me, but honestly, that's just a byproduct of codependency. That's not what love is. But I am learning. I guess if I had to explain it, that'd be the difference. I'm learning. I'm learning how to be accepting of coexistence. I'm learning how to love as God does with no conditions, and I learned it was just easier to say I had no feelings. So all these lessons that I'm learning, and these incubated notions through divine intercession has brought me from being hopeless to expressing this hope and possibilities that have opened and are growing if I'm keeping my heart and my eyes open.
Awesome piece. My name is Anthony. I'm just start off by first and foremost thanking TImucua, Benoit, Lawrence, anybody that stigma around mental health, not just for my community, for everybody. So this piece is called Lake Mead. I'm not going to explain what it is. I think I'm going to just give everybody their own interpretation this time. Sometimes I try to talk. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. Lake Mead. The Mojave is withering Lake Mead like a decaying carcass, and barrels are bubbling up. I've buried bodies here, and the lake is receding. I like to believe I'm gazing from the highway, but the Scarface on the radio, I'm parked, mumbling lyrics I half remember. A rabbit wearing glasses sits in the passenger seat beside me, typing on a MacBook. We're talking. Maybe. It's a mirage. I think my mind's playing tricks on me. I do know that Lake Mead is withering like a decaying carcass, and barrels are bubbling up. I charted bodies in one. Car crash, burned alive. We called him Jay. We were teammates in high school, walked home together after football practice, smoked the occasional blunt and back and mild as we got older. I'll never see a burning blunt the same. The writer suggested I smoke one for my homeboy for old time's sake. Lake Mead is withering. Barrels are bubbling up. Teasing one. He was laid back cool. We talked last at my son's baby shower. He died from a heart attack. A dude blasted holes through it. Shot his mom, his nephew, killed them, him, we, us. A person doesn't die in murders. A tribe does, kind of. They become zombies. Bullets kamikaze and die in a tribe person's body and resurrect like Jesus on Easter Sunday as revenge. Revenge isn't right, but it's a zombie longing to breathe again. Zombies never breathe the same again. Lake Mead is receding. Barrels are bubbling up. I like to believe I'm wandering the Mojave highways, driving 17 miles out of the way to not see Lake Mead. I'm parked beside it, stuck in the mud and sinking. A barrel, crayon scribbled all over it, bubbles up. I'm with a strange person, but not a stranger. Water cascading over me in the shower I shouldn't be in. I'm not quite suffocating. I'm a little boy, spiraling down the drain with wastewater. I like to believe I'm not spiraling down the drain. I like to believe burying these barrels isn't draining me like Lake Mead. The Mojave Desert is withering. Barrels are bubbling up. The rabbit talks, asks me questions, typing on a MacBook. I like to believe I'm talking to a rabbit wearing glasses, sitting in my passenger seat. There's no rabbit, no car. I'm in an office, talking to a woman wearing dreadlocks and Ray-Ban sunglasses. I like to believe I sleep at night. I float with my dead, orbiting under Pennywise's deadlights. The therapist closes the MacBook, hands me a shovel. She says, let's go dig up those bones. Listen to songs resonating in their marrow. Let's listen till they grow tired and sleep. But I am a big community guy, like I was saying, so if you want to follow me, like I said, it's about community, at TC The Grill, TC The Grill, it's spelled GRIOT. Like I said, man, we connect, share ideas, connect to some other places, and so on. So thank you guys.
The poet Robert Louis Stevenson says that wine is bottled poetry. Here's the wine. James Baldwin says artists are here to disturb the peace. drain the swamp. Drain the swamp of all the bloodsuckers that sacrifice the nation for personal gain and corporate privatization. Drain the swamp of all the money grabbers that will kill anyone for fake wars and weapon sales. Drain the swamp of all CIA stooges who poison the well of media and information to bring truth to heal. Drain the swamp of those who throw the migrants and the poor under the bus of misery and violence. Drain the swamp of foreign occupations and desperate refugees who run and die killed by profit made with blood. Drain the swamp of military leaders who think nothing of bombs that kill thousands for another shining star. Drain the swamp of political leaders who get a hard-on for war but can't get enough for peace. Drain the swamp of political leaders who get a hard-on for war but can't get enough for peace. Drain the swamp of political leaders who get a hard-on for war but can't get enough for peace. I wrote this in during Christmas, early part of Christmas, when, and I hope you don't mind the time, but this was done around the beginning of December, when they were beginning to say that Christmas would not be celebrated in Bethlehem. So I wrote this poem. It's called Against Hypocrisy in the Year of Our Lord. By the way, there's a name of a city here. I pronounce Medellin. Medellin is a city in Colombia, South America. I was born in Colombia, South America, in this city. So, against hypocrisy in the year of our Lord. Jesus died in Texas, and he died in Tennessee. He's heading across the ocean to Geneva in the Middle East. Christmas has been canceled. Bethlehem is going to be a ghost town. Jesus will be coming, but he won't be walking around. We bring you bombs, battleships, and bullets, not incense, myrrh, and gold. How many believers will it take to hear the children's screams and moans? Jesus died in Buenos Aires. He died in Medellin. Why bother with peace when we instead bring you the American dream? Not too many people have noticed he was once the Prince of Peace. Today, he's dead in the rubble of Gaza, next to a box of fish and chips. I happen to believe that one day there will be one country for Muslims, Jews, and Christians in what's called Palestine, Israel.
Amen.
I call it, there will be a new country. It will be called the Great Jerusalem, like Great Britain. I call this the Tree of Great Jerusalem. I believe one day, Great Jerusalem will be one piece, one God, one nation, liberated in the crucible of brotherhood and revelation. I believe one day, Great Jerusalem will have no need for nuclear weapons, celebrating the bravery of freedom, not an iron dome of separation. I believe one day, Great Jerusalem will usher in a new birth of freedom, where everyone is equal under human rights and reason. And I believe one day, this too shall come to pass. Great Jerusalem will rise like an olive grove from a wellspring in the desert. For to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven.
Oh.
opening our hearts to what avails us and transcends us. I found myself in you through your beauty, bravery, and benevolence. If heaven is the name we give to our troubles and travails, continuing to know each other, then heaven's giving us to remain in light through its dark and hard weather. And so we move out beyond the stars, and what has been displaced plays its own part in keeping us together. Sometimes good, sometimes worse. Day by day, moving forward, making things better. I never would have found these words to say what you have meant to me all these years. Like a light above dark water has been your heaven's kiss to me.
That was awesome. That was Emmett, Anthony, and Nelson. Real quick, let me call out the next three folks who are on deck. It's going to be King Mustafa, Jimmy, and Christian. Come on down. But I want to say real quick while everybody's gathering, I know a couple of you from like other open mics and from other places, or that where literary events where people have gathered. But I'm just really impressed with like everything tonight. It's difficult, I think, certainly for me and probably for a lot of people to really share like a piece of yourself, and it's just really impressive to me and really, really cool how everybody is doing that and doing it well. So pats on the back for everybody. So next up we have King Mustafa, Jimmy, and Christian. Are we ready?
We're going to do that in the opposite order, but yes.
Okay. So we have Christian first, then Jimmy, and
How is it? We have a lot of people here today. It's awesome. Does anybody like McDonald's?
Sometimes.
How about Wes Anderson films?
Yeah.
All right, this isn't about either of those two things. Or it's not really about those two things. A few nights later, she invited me to watch the Grand Budapest Hotel at the local theater. She picked me up from my apartment about half an hour before the movie started, and we sat near the center left edge of the theater so that she could take smoke breaks, but she only ended up going for one shortly after the escape sequence. After the movie, we went back out to her car and sat for a while just talking about it. I consistently like everything I've ever seen by Wes Anderson, but I've never really fallen in love with one of his movies like I have with 2001 or Lost in Translation. The Royal Tenenbaums is my favorite. I'm Margot. What, just because you're blonde and you smoke? She flipped me off as I responded by closing my left eye and flattening my lips into a toothless smile. That movie's exactly what I'm talking about, though. I should love it. The Nico song in the soundtrack, the part where Richie and Margot listen to Between the Buttons on vinyl in the tent. It's one of my favorite Rolling Stones albums, you know. Well, the UK version, anyway. She looked back at me and smiled and nodded slowly, then turned on her car. I'm feeling antsy. Do you want something to eat? I want a McFlurry. There was a McDonald's in the same strip mall, and we got in line for the drive-thru. When it was our turn to order, the clerk greeted us, but Ellie turned to me and whispered frantically, I changed my mind. I don't want anything. Do I just drive away? I'm gonna just drive away. There was a car stopped at the register window in front of us and another car waiting in line behind us, and the drive-thru had a small raised curb. We were trapped. So, I launched myself over her body in the driver's seat and leaned my head out the window to talk to the speaker box. Hi, yeah, sorry, I'll just have one small McFlurry. I could feel her entire body laughing under me as I made the order. I pulled myself back into the confines of the passenger seat before I looked at her, still laughing at me. You're gonna have to pay for it and get it from the last window now, too. No problem. over her again, she took the card from my hand and pushed me back down into my seat, trying to hold back her laughter. She made the transaction, then returned my card and the receipt. You're ridiculous, you know that? She grabbed the McFlurry and the plastic spoon at the last window and passed them to me. To me. I hope this was worth it. I took the McFlurry from her and looked it over before gently placing it in the driver's side cup holder. I don't know yet. You'll have to tell me after you eat it. Oh yeah? And why would I do that? You're the one that bought it. Because I don't like ice cream. The cold makes my teeth hurt. So if you don't eat it, it's going to go to waste. She began to laugh as hard as she had in the speaker box. You're ridiculous. I know. She parked in one of the theater's empty parking spots and began to eat the McFlurry. I watched her over eagerly to make it clear that I expected to know exactly what she thought about it when she was done. Good? She scooped out the remainders of the cup with her spoon and nodded her head. We sat quietly looking at each other. Usually when I'm hanging out with people like Eleanor or John, I have a strong urge to just not be there. I'd rather be at home getting drunk. But when I'm with you, it doesn't even matter what we do. I don't feel that way at all. I sat contented in the warm afterglow of her words, then watched her carefully. She began to pick at a small burnt cigarette circle on the inside of her driver's side door. Have you thought any more about what I said the other night? She kept picking at the burn hole as she answered me. I still don't think it's a good idea for either of us to get into a relationship right now. I nodded slowly at her. You're probably right, but the other night we were talking about what we want, not what we think. I think what I want is pretty clear, but not at the cost of our friendship. So what I'm asking is what you want. She turned to look at me, then answered quietly. I want to be with you. I nodded my head once in simultaneous acknowledgement and agreement. So then, what are we going to do? I don't know. What if one of us gets really bad again? I took a moment to formulate my feelings into words before I responded. Well, I think so far the both of us have tried really hard to avoid getting bad again from how we feel for each other. But I don't think that's ended up working too well for either one of us. And I can only speak for myself when I say this, but spending time with you makes me feel stronger. I'm more focused, I have more energy, I get so much more done, not just academically, but in general. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect or without road bumps along the way, but being with you makes me want to get better. Not just so I can be there for you when you need it, but because I actually want to live. I want to live and be with you. I took her hand in my hand and squeezed it firmly. So, do you want to try? Small time skip. Later that evening. Don't you think it would be cute if we gave each other little pet names? She took a drag from her cigarette and looked at me sitting across from her on the porch. Pet names are kind of embarrassing. I wouldn't even know what to call you. Me neither, but I just did a Google search and I have a list here of the best ones for him and her. Oh yeah? Let's hear them then. We went down the list and tried them on each other and laughed at the clumsiness of our most attempts to use them with sincerity. There were the classics: honey, baby, darling, dear, sugar, sweetie, as well as some more archaic ones. Poppet, apple of my eye, the bee's knees. Gets better. Okay, here we go. I've got a good one. How would you feel if I called you pussy? She laughed incredulously and leaned forward toward where I was sitting. I don't believe you. There's no way it says that. Show me. I showed her the list on my phone screen and she sat back in her chair and pulled her hat down over her face as the laughter flowed from her unrestrained. It's decided then. I'll call you pussy. Give me your phone. Let me see the list for guys. I handed it over and watched as she scrolled down the list, occasionally smiling as she found a particularly good one. Old man, big daddy, cuddly wuddly, pookie. God, these are awful. You have to pick one. After a few moments, her eyes opened wide. She casually handed my phone back across to me. Here you go, sweet thing. She couldn't keep her cigarette in her mouth. We both erupted with laughter. Thank you.
So this piece I actually wrote today, and this was what I received from my grandfather a summer with him in Philly. It's called The Return of the Red Man. Like a bird returning a winter, like a bird migrating back to the land that runs through our veins, you are not black, you are copper, a conductor of love. We are the copper ones, is what Pop-Pop said. He showed me that we are the ones that bring the message from the heavens. We are the ones that flow and go with the flow. We come from the bird clan, is what Pop-Pop said. Is the wake-up call, the screams of freedom. You are protected. This is the sound of the call of our ancestors, the call of the spirits from all directions, bringing us back to gods. Is the call to wake up who you really are. We are the engines, my sons, what Pop-Pop said. You walk with your head high, your chest out, and your cock ready, is what Pop-Pop said. They don't want us to see. They want us to see. Consume the bullshit, the fake shit. They want you not to know who you can be. You are red like a Georgia clay. They don't want you to be in harmony with the moon, the months, the days, your food, your herbs. Our returning like a winter. Wake up, you're magic. Wake up, you are magic. Wake up, the magic. And your mind is the universe, and our thoughts are the stars. We are back. That's what Pop-Pop said.
Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Fine.
Can we give a round of warm applause? So it takes a lot of courage for everyone to come up here tonight, so we appreciate it. And it's my honor to introduce the next person. But before we do that, I'm going to invite you to a reset and invite everybody to close your eyes, and I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath in. 5. Open your eyes. So before he comes up, it is going to be his birthday tomorrow, and he's going to turn 9. He's a little bit shy, and he does have special needs, but he's really excited to be here with us. So let's give him a round of applause.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Do you know what tomorrow is?
Your birthday?
It's my birthday. I'm gonna be 9 tomorrow. Yay! I want to invite you. I want to invite you. I want to invite the whole world. I have a best friend. His name is Chad. Sometimes he called me nigger. It's okay. But tomorrow's gonna be my birthday tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm so excited. So sometimes me and Chad we play. We have the same last name, but I don't know why. I don't know why. But tomorrow's gonna be my birthday. sometimes they call us nigger too. Sometimes they call us nigger too. Sometimes they call me nigger so much. I think that's my first name. Sometimes they call me nigger so much. I think that's my first name. Sometimes they call me nigger so much. I think that's my first name. Wake up, black people. We're not niggers. Let me continue. Tomorrow's gonna be my birthday. I'm so excited. Sometime I hit my paw. He tell me, son, don't cross that railroad tracks after dark. They're bad people over there. But Pa, it's gonna be my birthday. I want a chocolate cake. Then I hear my mom's voice, baby. You know you can't cross that railroad tracks after dark. You know, it's bad people over there. You just can't. But tomorrow's gonna be my birthday. I want to invite my friend that I play with. We got the same last name. I want to invite him. I don't know if it's dark or not. It looks dark. I don't know. I'm gonna go. Mr. Johnson, is Chad home? Is Chad home? It's my birthday tomorrow. It's your birthday, boy. How are you gonna be? Mr. Johnson, I'm gonna be 9 tomorrow. I didn't know niggers can count to 9. You're a smart one. You know your daddy worked around yonder with me in the cotton fields. You know that, right? Yes, Mr. Johnson. I know. Is he gonna come out and play? Want y'all go out yonder and you go out and play, I go get my son. Go out there, go out and play. They did not know that this child is going to be 9 tomorrow. They did not know that they decided to do is to get a lynch mob. To lynch this child that's going to be 9 tomorrow, to lynch this child that's going to be 9 tomorrow. Then they say to the child that's going to be 9 tomorrow, nigga, do you have any last words? Mr. Johnson, I just want my mom. George Floyd, remember that. Let me continue. Now, I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I should hang the nigger!
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, faster scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouths, scent of magnolias, clean and fresh, then the sudden smell of burning flesh.
Eric Johnson. It's supposed to be the last lynching, but that's not true. So just wanted to let you know. Fun fact. I was his voice today. My Instagram is King Mustafa H2O, and this is Vibe with Aisa, and this is going to be my future wife in about next month.
We're gonna follow that now, huh? Maybe just, I think I'm just gonna take a breath for about 10 seconds and enjoy that. Thank you for being the voice of Eric.
Yep. Perfect.
That was King Mustafa, Jimmy, and Christian. And by the way, Jimmy, thanks for, welcome. Your first time here? Hope to see you back wherever you are. Christian, I must say, I was thinking about, my ex-wife was very petite and I occasionally called her Pee-wee. And I would just like to point out that I did say ex-wife. Our next three presenters, we have Haley, Semron, and Curtis. We're gonna queue up, as they say. Actually, we have, that's a good call. We have one other person, so you might as well come on down and get in line. That would be Danielle. So, Haley, Semron, Curtis, Danielle. Oh, come on down.
Oh my god. Hopefully I'm loud enough because, I'm Hispanic, but I don't know. That doesn't really help us. Alright, this one is a. Say those are long calls? As a kid who easily forgives but never forgets, just know that this pain brews within me. I still remember how it felt, but not what happened. But how can I never forget and not paint the picture of what happened? The pain inflicted that day is fresh in my mind, but the brain is so scared it made my mind visually impaired. Can't see, can't waken. Much like memories are shaken. Bang, bang, bang my head so I don't forget. Remember what you did. Wait, what did you do? I can't place my finger. Where's the trigger? It's like the pain still shakes, but whose hand is on me? And maybe I don't want to remember all the horrible things you did. And maybe I want to be left at peace. But the fresh stings of pain in my head whisper, don't forget. So what am I to do when I want to start anew? But when all I can think about is, what did you do? I have like 182 poems, but I can't read all those. So. This one's called I Can. Who are you to say I can? Who is discouraged has no courage. Do not bend me down, because you have no ground. I have seen reality and known its practicality, so I will transform its will and make it my reality. That one's about me trying to apply to Publix, but my mom was like, you can't take those because you can't pick the hours you want to work and they won't hire you, so it's like, whatever, and then I applied anyway, and she gave me permission, but I already told her I did it, so. I wish that I was a badass kid, you would be doing what you want to. Alright, this one's called Wrong. I saw you when we talked, all the wrong signs, but I did anyways. Hopeful for some fulfillment, even when it was the wrong time. All I wanted was someone to be mine, but now we're ways apart and stare across the stars for the right person at the right time from afar. Alright, I go to the next one. This one's called Unexpected Love. One look at you from across the street had me dead on my knees. I never knew someone could be so breathtaking, suffocate me with your presence, so unexpected. Such a nice surprise, but you're just a stranger, giving these unexpected feelings. But I don't regret the touch on my heart, so I'll take my unexpected love apart. Oh, this was for Palestine? I have more on my page, but I'll talk about that later. Watching injustice kill the masses that has been going on behind unused glasses. Me unaware of such horrible crimes, now I need to stand up and keep my dime. Pull back, stand up for those who are oppressed. Though I am stressed of being powerless, I will do what I can against the power hungry. For they don't know how thirsty we are for blood. We will match them and run and cower, for we have the power. Stand up against centuries of imperialism. Their horrid crimes against the native people will be no more, and we will make sure they can hear us roar. Alright, this is about, telling someone about how you really feel, and then even though you told them how you really feel, just leave you. Last one. Yeah. Trust is burdensome, for there is no one I can confide with. But I think I would rather lie with myself than to trust anyone else. People come and go like the breeze. No, that's wrong. People come and go like the breeze. If they're greedy, they'll make you go down on one knee. Strip thee of dignity and self, for I don't remember who I am without you. You run with my thoughts and security. I should have known I wasn't secure with your uncertainty. I was foolish enough to think you would have stayed if I was to show you who I really was.
Time.
Oh, time?
Time.
Alright everyone, let's give it up for all of the inspiring and talented ones tonight. My name is Simran. I am coming up on living in Florida for about a year, coming up on my year anniversary. Thank you, yes, please. The question that I really want to answer that no one asks me enough is, Simran, what has your experience in Florida been like? So I wrote a series of haikus, and each of these haikus begins with the phrase Florida man. And each of them are based off of or heavily inspired by real Florida man news headlines. For those of you who are Bo Burnham fans, you should know that sometimes he punctuates his series of haikus with the sound of a triangle.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm here for this.
Thank you, Chris. And so I will be doing the same. Let's just do a trial run. I know the sound here can be a little intense, so if it is, just let me know and we'll pivot. How does that sound?
Nice.
Good? Cool. Glad I made the $6 investment. All right, here goes. Florida man goes fishing in Bass Pro Shop. New Tinder picture. Florida man's tattoo says, "Only God can judge me." He's in court. Florida man steals car and parks at sheriff's office. He fled on foot. Florida man says, "Don't say gay. I eat cake at Ron's living wake." Florida man revs engine. With each vroom, he thinks, "My penis will grow." Florida man bans 673 books, whites out the truth. Florida man fights gator with trash can. Red Bull has got a new ad. Florida man slaps gator with pizza. No one out pizzas the hut. Florida man feeds gator by sandwich. High chance men die by gator. Florida man claims restaurant put dirt in his food. Spice, he said. What's that? Florida man hides sins in my backyard. It's hard to feel home. Florida man chose sewing needle as weapon. Come at me, cross stitch. but we are not a monolith. Florida man can be evil, but I'm proud of resilience here.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
There's an after party, as there always is. This road is Summerlin. If you go all the way down to Summerlin and Colonial, there's an IHOP. Cool people only. I couldn't decide what poem I wanted to do, so I'm going to do a brand new one I've never performed anywhere before. If you come to that after party, I will do my other option. We will have ciphers. You should come to the IHOP cipher. And if anything, it's hot cocoa weather. I will be enjoying a hot chocolate. Yeah, you're welcome. Think about that one. This is called Cooking with Lao Su Part 2. She asks, is this spicy? Yes. It tastes like a sugar plantation on fire, like slave uprising. It tastes like villages being raised by settlers, dry grass inferno clearing out the jungle, like clapback from the colonized world. One bite stamps your shadow against the wall, bubbles fabric of the chair you sit on, drops of spilled juice splash holes in tablecloth, they sizzle through until they hit the floor. Is this stuff spicy? You want to know what it tastes like? It tastes like napalm. Agent Orange creamsicles, like Montezuma's revenge played backwards, racing out your lower intestine until it blowtorches out your throat, melting teeth into candle wax until you no longer have a smile. The scent alone is a threat. This stuff tastes the way a flamenco dancer in a red dress looks. Lipstick, flour in her hair to match, like a flamenco dancer in a red dress being burned at the stake, like the cinnamon challenge, French kissing Pele. Hotter than Joan of Arc's last words. Hotter than the prayers of the Challenger crew. This ain't an explosion of flavor so much as execution of your public dignity. It punches jaws like arrows, inciting Viking funeral, the start of the Olympic Games. You try to play it off, act all cool, but soon you'll be sweating buckets. Armpits turn puddle, eyeballs tear up like watching the end of a Pixar movie. Cheeks now rose garden in full bloom, like being locked inside a Swedish bathhouse for days. Like you've been trapped inside the sauna so long, you can't think straight. This stuff makes you dizzy, opens up the sinuses. Your vision becomes clear. You can see into the future. Congratulations, you're now woke. Try not to embarrass yourself. Nostrils, jailbreak, waterfalls of snot. You reach for the nearest glass, attempt to douse the pain, swallow without looking. You discover the water is flammable. Your cup's filled with all the pollution you've been feeding us. Gas, plastics, oil spills, lead found in Midwest plumbing, the flint that ignites, the business end of crack pipes, $100 bills for school funding smoked into ashen cigars. It doesn't taste hot, it doesn't taste spicy, it tastes like poison. One gulp sets your hair to blaze like matches sparking hairspray. Like you thought it'd be a good idea drinking a Molotov cocktail. You don't order this stuff because you're hungry or curious. You don't have yourself a nibble because you feel a mite peckish. This ain't no meal, it's a dare. There ain't no free samples, nothing for you at the refreshment table. This is fondue, made from the core of the sun, dipped in golden queso lava. Your face will feel like bobbing for apples inside an active volcano. You ask, how spicy is it? Think church bombing, Notre Dame, the Amazon, hot like the American South, crosses on the front lawn. We're talking fever like racial tension, no filter. This stuff slaps like brutal honesty, the kind that leaves scars on flesh because it's way too real. Serve it up a saucer and heal it from a straw. Down it in a shot glass and regret the decision tomorrow. It tastes like tough love. This stuff can't betray you. Real love always stabs up front. Sometimes your food should hurt you before supplying inner strength. You can cut the air with an oxygen mask. We're talking hot enough to melt white off ice caps. First contact splits taste buds in half like machete through coconut husk. This is 5 alarm and then some. 3rd degree burns on your soul. A reverse exorcism where the devils go back in. You can't hear sirens or smoke detectors. The smell is what gets you out of bed. Smoke so thick you can taste it. You say you'd like the recipe. You can't speak speak its name without coughing, without lips cracking into blisters. It tastes like licking ice cream made from scoops of car battery. You say you'd rather have the mild sauce. Newsflash, this is what you've been feeding us our entire lives. The wars within our mouths, the riots in our bellies. Is it any coincidence that time bombs and microwaves both come with countdowns? We didn't start the fire, we just added ingredients. Blessed the pot with our own brand of seasoning, served it up as favorite, turned sales into our hustle, built homes while dancing inside the steam. That's why you buffet line while we work the kitchen. It might be too much for your tender palate. The rest of us have been eating bowls of this stuff for years. Every time we ask for seconds.
Yeah.
Alright, my name is Danielle, and this poem is called Save Her. I've been free from deep sadness, which I battled with since the age of 7. I'm still learning how to be free since being sad became my default blame. So much so, my resting face became the automatic sign for depression. It was like, internally, I could be so happy, but my face wasn't. So I prayed one night at 3 before I went to sleep and pronounced my confession. I asked God to take control of my emotions and reconstruct my settings to his preference. Save her. Then, God showed me a vision of a little girl who was standing in front of a mirror with her head hung low, like her face was too much to bear. I couldn't see her, but I knew what she was feeling. The weight of sadness in the room was way too familiar. I stood there looking, trying to get a glimpse, a peek of her visage. Then the sudden darkness overtook the whole building. Save her. That's what God told me before I woke up from this vision. At that moment, I wasn't even thinking about the girl. I was thinking about me. Like, God, why are you asking me to save someone when no one saved me? Give ear and hear my voice. Give attention and hear my speech. My apologies, God. I just don't understand this dream. I'm listening, and I will give you all the attention you please. I'm just confused on why you presented me with a kid in need. No child should feel the weight of emotion, lack of expression, or ground crumble beneath their feet. Nor be surrounded by darkness, head hung low like they are kings and queens. I mean, this vision you showed me makes me want to yell and scream. Because if that girl was right in front of me, I would lift her head up and say, baby, just breathe. Because you have a bigger purpose to fulfill in this world, way bigger than you believe. So don't let your thoughts or people suppress your being. Because I was once where you were, and I promise you I'm free. But if that demon ever try to come for you, I will stand with you in the ring. Light a fire, throw torches, guns blazing like Marines. Teach you how to control your thoughts and use them to take advantage to succeed. You're in control of your mind can't control a thing. You're a beautiful creation, a child descendant of a king. The bright star shining with the brightest of lights, no need to look down at your feet. Everywhere you enter, there's an applause, you're way more dope than you think. No horoscope or social media status, you will need to tell you these things. After I finished my thought, I prayed to the God for the child and went back to sleep. Save her, is what I heard in my dreams. I jumped up out of shock because I was ignoring what God was telling me. What I was hearing wasn't an instruction, but a statement he was relaying to me. Saved her, past tense, meaning already free. What I was seeing was a place where she used to be. So God, why are you showing me this? What is this supposed to mean? That little girl I was seeing used to be me.